Hello guys, some of you have asked me to tell you about pensioners in Russia and whether they are saving money or investing somewhere. Well, probably if you lived in Russia and communicated with Russian pensioners, then most likely you would not ask such questions. But let's figure it out. I'll try to cover this issue in more detail. About 46 million pensioners live in Russia, but not all of them are elderly. Some receive a disability pension, some receive a survivor's pension. There are also many former civil servants. These are former police officers, military, judges, prosecutors, and so on. These people usually retire earlier than others on seniority and can receive a pension at the age of 45 to 50 years and even earlier. But this is a special case for special categories of pensioners, which I will not analyze in detail. In this video I will focus on the ordinary average pensioners of Russia, of which the majority, about 43 million people, is almost every third resident of Russia. These are people who have been assigned an old age pension at the age of 55 to 65 years. Until 2019, an old age pension was assigned to women at the age of 55 and for men at the age of 60. But after the pension reform of 2019 in Russia, the retirement age was raised for women to 60 years and for men to 65 years. We have sorted out the retirement age in Russia, and now let's move on to the most interesting, namely the size of pension in Russia. The minimum pension in Russia in 2023 is 12,363 rubles, and this amount is tied to the subsistence minimum in Russia. The average old age pension in Russia is of January 1st, 2023 is 20,678 rubles. In different regions of Russia, the size of the average pension may vary slightly. For example, in the Leningrad region where I live, the average pension is 19,909 rubles. In Moscow, the capital of Russia, it is 20,709 rubles. Thus, the average pensioner from the Leningrad region aged about 60 to 65 years receives about 19,909 rubles a month. At the current exchange rate in dollars, this is about $263 per month. It is worth saying that the pension of civil servants, police officers, military, and others is slightly higher. For example, my father worked in the police as a traffic inspector for 29 years and retired at the age of 50. Now his pension is 25,000 rubles a month. And now let's smoothly move on to the topic of where the average Russian pensioner can save money, whether he can invest, buy stocks, and so on. Well, I already said in one of my videos about spending in Russia. Let me just remind you that the payment of utility bills for a two-room apartment in my city is about 7 to 8,000 rubles a month, and spending on food is at least 10,000 rubles a month, and it will be a rather meager meal. So, in general, summing up, in my personal opinion, the average pensioner in Russia spends his entire pension on rent, food, and medicines, and is unable to postpone even the smallest amount from his pension, much less invest and buy some shares. In addition, many pensioners in Russia have to work until they die to cover all the necessary expenses. We often hear on television that the government takes care of pensioners and regularly increases their pensions. Perhaps this is true, but unfortunately, such support methods are, to put it mildly, unsatisfactory, in my humble opinion. Prices in Russia are increasing every year, while salaries and pensions are growing very slowly, and some people often do not have enough even for the most necessary things. And this is especially true for single pensioners. Some lonely pensioners in Russia do not live but survive. Others live under the slogan, hope for the best but prepare for the worst. Well, perhaps that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you for your attention. If you have interesting questions, ask them in the comments and maybe I will try to cover them in more detail in my next videos. Okay, have a good day. Goodbye.